Hope everybody is doing great, enjoying your days at home by staying safe, staying healthy, taking care of your health, not only yours but of your family members as well, and following the guidelines of government, especially issued for the COVID-19. Hope will overcome this pandemic soon. Stay positive, have the courage, have patience, because every time whatever we think will never happen. We have to adjust. We are human beings. We have to adjust many things. We have to compromise on many things. We have to start today the next poem from your syllabus, that is Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Lee Frost. It is actually a very small poem, but the message is very louder, very good, and a deep message. We have to understand this one. Even though when you read it out, you don't find it out anything difficult into that. It is very easy to understand, as well as it is very superficial if you don't read it very depth and the understanding. So there is a need to understand the poem. Now, before starting that, we'll go for the introduction of the poet as usual. The poet Robert Lee Frost, born in USA in the year 1874, and in the year 1963 he died. In between those years, from birth to death, what you have done is countable. And these people, the writers, the poets, the teachers, have a special life. After death also they continue to live, because they are alive in their writings, and the teachers are alive in their students. Whenever you get a chance, you remember your teachers. So I believe that the teachers never die. Now they are not the ghosts, but they could not die because the students make them alive always. Always they remember, and they remember the days how they spent with their teachers, and the teachers what they taught them. In the same way, poets and the writers, they never die. Okay, for sake of the world, we have a certain dates of birth and death, but you can imagine it out. From 1963 he died, and till now in 2020 we are referring to his poem because we find is relatable to our life. Okay, so now this description of beauty of nature. Always he described the beauty of nature. Nature, I think everybody loves nature, especially the days when there is early morning, when there was a rainfall and it clear it out. It's not like continuous rain I'm talking. It's the rain falls and again it clear it out. You find the dewdrops, you find the raindrops on the leaves and on the flowers, and you find it like very spellbounding, or you can say eye-catching, very alluring for yourself. You find it very attractive. You want to see it more and more. Not only the leaves and the flowers and the fruits, sky, the rainbow, the green trees, and the variety of the colors of the creator, because the creator itself is very good in creation of your mixing of the colors. You can find sometimes the red flowers look so gorgeous under the shade of the green leaves. Sometimes you find purple flowers, varieties of tulips you must have seen. Not only roses are beautiful, tulips are as well. Then orchids, different colors, different flowers, different you can say leaves, and you can see the cuts of the leaves. Variety of the leaves are there where they have different cuts and they have different patterns would be there. So that shows that nature itself is very creative. We can find the colors, we can get the inspiration from the nature itself. So the beauty of the nature captures ourselves very easily. And in his poems, Robert Lee Frost poems, he always discusses about the beauty of the nature. And and with that beauty of the nature, he normally conveys the messages of life. With that beauty, relate the messages of the life. So now here about the poem, like any times it had happened that you got stopped because of certain attraction at a certain place. It was about the beauty of the nature. If the nature is very attractive, like snow-capped mountains. I hope anyone have visited the snow-capped mountains. They look too gorgeous. Not necessarily you should have to go near to the snow-capped mountains. You can see from the far away also, but they look gorgeous. They look seriously awesome to have, like you feel heavenly when you stand there and you look at the snow-capped mountains, the snow-filled mountains. Then sometimes because of the snow, the trees also get the snow flakes on it. The leaves also get covered into that, and it looks very good. And those people, those who are not habituated of snow, they just want to spend more time over there. So he is asking, like, at any time it had happened that we stood at one place and we get captured by or captivated by the beauty of the nature, that we forgot our journey. So here it doesn't mean only journey, we forgot our life. At your age, there are so many attractions and distractions at every step of the life. So we have to concentrate on our aim, even though we get distracted, even though we get attracted, but it doesn't mean that we have to stop our journey. We should take a halt, but we have to continue the journey. He wanted the same thing. He was conveying the same message in the poem, that you may get attracted by the nature's beauty. It can catch your attention. It can make you spellbound, and you can stay there for few moments. You can stay into that particular place for few moments, but you have to continue your journey, or you have to forget the mission. You have to forget your ambition, mission, or you have to continue the journey. So that sometimes we get into dilemma, a confusion, whether to do this or that. That dilemma comes into our life always. Don't just imagine the journey at a certain garden or certain place. It's about the journey of life, where we get thousands of attractions, but one mission would be there in our life. And whether we cross all these attractions, distractions, and reach to our destination, that's up to our willpower. So he wanted to convey the same message into that one. Like, you may get attracted, you may get distracted, but don't stop the journey of life. Now here the poem starts with the poet was crossing. He was on his horse. He was riding the horse. He was crossing the place. So riding the horse means when you look somebody riding a horse, you find it how nice it looks, but it's actually a difficult task to ride a horse. You get pains, a lot of pains in the body. Your ribs get completely upside down. Okay. So here it happens that this poet was riding a horse, and by the time he was crossing the places, here woods always means the forest. We find the forest or the trees at one place. That is continuous chain of the trees. So many trees are there that only the woods can be seen. So it here doesn't mean that the woods which can be shown in any place. It's not like woods, it is the forest or the trees. So he was crossing that place and he saw one of the, like a forest area, or you can say a garden area, and it looks so, you can say, alluring to him. It has caught his attention that he stood there, and he started assuming whose woods this one, whose woods these are, I think I know. So he said that whose forest is this, whose garden is this, maybe I know who is the owner of this one. His house is in the village though. He's saying that his house is in the village. Somewhere means like in the village I have seen that person, his house is present in the village, but his woods or forests are here at this place. So I have seen this, and like when he was entering, he got an like you can say an idea, or you can say he got the feeling like before entering you should take the permission of the person to whom it belongs, right? So now it was actually of the person whom he knew. So he is justifying his entering into the wood by thinking that I know the owner, so I know the person, and I can enter into this woods or the forest. He will not see me stopping here. He will not see me stopping here. So in his absence I am entering. He will not see me stopping here. So that means I should not steal anything also, right? I should not go beyond my limits because the owner is not looking at me. But if I am stopping, so why I am stopping at this particular place? Why he was stopping? To watch his woods fill up with snow. To watch his woods fill up with snow. That means the trees were completely covered with snow. And as I said, Robert Lee Frost, born in USA, so he must have seen all the snow capped, not only the mountains but the trees and even the roads. But at that time, at the time of the evening, it was looking so gorgeous to him that he could not move from that place. He stood there and he just wanted to watch it out. He was captivated by the beauty of the forest. The same thing can happen in our life. At a certain time, by the beauty of nature or by anything in the life that gives you so much attraction that you forget your way, you forget your journey, you forget your mission, your aim, and you get distracted. At those times, you don't want any interference from neither from the parents, not from the teachers, and not from the studies. You don't want any interference from anybody because you got completely distracted towards that. Just imagine it out one moment, like you are watching one of the any serials, like many people watch like Pakistani serials too. You have like YouTube and many, whatever you have searched for, from Amazon Prime to Z5, whatever you wanted to check it out. If you are seeing any of the serials and you are engrossed into that, and at that time you don't want any interference from any of your neither family members, not from your even friends, not from your strangers, anybody. You don't want any distraction. You forgot that you would have to get up, you have to study, you would have to do some work, you would have been assigned some duties. You forget all the duties because you get captivated by the storyline, by the suspense, by thriller, by something. You get so captivated that you don't want any type of the disturbance. And after 1 hour, 2 hours, then you get an idea, my goodness, I have spent so much time. By the time you realize, maybe the time for doing the other works have gone. So that shows that whatever our duties are, we should not stop. So here what happened, he was getting captivated by the beauty of the nature in such a way that he was stopping there and continuously watching, and he justifying himself that the owner could not see me, I have stopped here, I just want to look at that one. So it was a, you can say, attractive moment for him to stop over there. And I hope you have understood till here the whole the introduction, and only one stanza I explained you because we have gone through the background. So in the next class we will continue the explanation of the rest of the poem. By the time, take care, have a nice day.